Good morning, my brothers and sisters, and all my friends. This morning, we are going to talk about what we have done for last 90 days and what I want to propose to do for the next 90 days to complete the half moon, 180 degree. The last 90 days, I was talking about the fundamental issues, the fundamental faculties which make a human being. I was talking about evolutionary mandate. I have repeated this word many times in 90 days. So the evolutionary mandate for 21st century, to me, is very important, because it doesn't matter how many philosophies and how many arguments and how many smart arguments we engage ourselves with, but it boils down to one truth, that we have to align our consciousness with the evolutionary impulse, the evolutionary zeal, the evolutionary mandate of the universe, to stay on the natural course. Anything which is artificial, which doesn't align with the natural course of the universal evolution, will be wasting our time and energy. And humanity cannot afford to waste time and energy, because already we have reached the singularity of all the chaos and confusions, psychological, social, economical, and all kind of singularity. We have already reached to the point where we are ready to destroy ourselves. We have manufactured so many atom bombs, and the humanity is on the verge of self-destruction. So we don't have time. We have to agree with this, that we don't have time and energy to waste. So we have to align our consciousness with the universal mandate, evolutionary mandate. What is the evolutionary mandate? How could we define and how could we recognize? We have to recognize through the same method and process of know thyself. The very first stream and the holy river of this holy confluence, Triveni, the three rivers coming down in this great togetherness, great union. The first one is Brahma Vidya. And Brahma Vidya is symbolized in the Indian wisdom tradition by the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, Saraswati. And we cannot have the wisdom without following certain rules. What are those? Those are very beautifully depicted and demonstrated by the symbol of Goddess Saraswati. She has the peacock as the vehicle. And peacock is the greatest symbol of universal unity. Unity in diversity. The colors what we see on peacock feathers are the reflection of the light. They are arranged in such a manner that they display infinite colors, infinite shades of colors. The great unity, which is sometimes displayed at the time of Olympics, or sometimes coordinated dances, like you see the whole crowd when will raise the hand, and when put the hand down, we will see the different waves of formations, collective formations. We have the capacity to incorporate the wisdom of the past Brahma Vidya, know thyself. And knowing ourselves, anything which is artificial won't help us. We have to know ourselves as it is. And if we look at the human body, which is the greatest symbol and example of evolutionary mandate, that we stand up 90 degrees to keep our consciousness fully and totally and absolutely aligned with the center of the universe, the center of the truth, by 90 degrees. We didn't bring any tools of offense and defense. We came naked here. We even didn't bring the shoes. We came here bare feet. And so soft. If you look at the feet of a child, you will feel that as soft as a flower's petal. God, what a resolution, what a sankalpa, what a great universal intention of the human soul to come here to this world of earth without shoes. What is this phenomena? Why we did that? Why our human soul, or we could say the life principle, which started at the very first moment when the life took shape on earth, and then the long march of billions of years to reach to the human being. So why life force? And what life force is demonstrating to us through our physical body? Why life force gave us this body? And what life principle is trying to tell us through this great story of evolution? And the very first thing we must agree is that we cannot afford to introduce and incorporate any artificial philosophy here and belief system. We have to align our belief system with the evolutionary mandate, with the human body. And our human body is the symbol of nonviolence, apostle of nonviolence. And not only that, we see that we are aligned with the truth, with the non-violence, and because of our apparatus of mirror neurons are very highly developed in the human beings. Of course, they started in the family of apes, and the great Italian researcher who discovered the mirror neurons, it's a great gift of him to humanity to understand that our universal empathy, the faculty of our mind of empathy, is based on the mirror neurons. Because we could reflect the pain and happiness of another human being or another sentient being in our own heart. That's our natural state. Anything else other than this is not natural. So better not to waste our time and energy to be something which we are not. Because the wisdom of billions of years of the life principle is not wrong, my dear friends. We can be little wise. We don't have to pretend that we are very wise. We don't have to be arrogant for our wisdom, because we are not that wise as much as the life principle, because life principle has the experience of billions of years of knowing itself. So life principle tells us that we are aligned with the truth, we are aligned with the non-violence, we are aligned with the universal empathy, which gives us this great mental faculty to feel the pain and happiness of every other sentient beings in our own heart as our own pain and happiness, which calls upon us, this faculty calls upon us to practice universal empathy and expand the circle of compassion which must embrace the whole humanity. Till we don't do that, we will never reach to the transformation from a territorial being to the universal being. So we must extend our circle of compassion to include everybody without any caste, color, creed, nations, territories, anything, no conditions, all inclusive, unconditional compassion. And then Mother Nature has given us frugality, this sense to take minimum and give maximum back to the universe, contribute maximum to the universe, the energy efficiency. And this is all the human body, because we take food from the great chain of food, and when the food energy comes to the human being, the human mind is the gateway to the heaven. And the human mind converts that energy of matter into spiritual energy of love and compassion and universal empathy. This is what it shows, how the prophets, how the saints and seers strive to do, how the rishis, the great rishis of the Indian tradition. So that's evolutionary mandate. This is the way we could recognize our evolutionary mandate, and how we could align our consciousness with the natural flow. We don't have to prove any point here to go against the current. We could let our boat, our sailboat, on the great river, and let the wind of the Mother Nature, of the universal benevolence and goodwill, let that wind take our boat to the destination. We can afford to do that, to let it happen, through aligning our consciousness with the natural flow of evolution, with the natural flow of evolutionary mandate. And as we have recognized that we are aligned with the truth, we are non-opposers of non-violence, we have the mirror neurons which give us the great faculty of feeling the pain and happiness of another human being or the sentient being in our own heart, the universal empathy. And then the great energy efficiency to convert the matter, the energy of matter, into the spiritual energy. The human mind is the gateway to the heaven. We could do that. All the prophets and all the saints and rishis Everyone tried to do that. Why can't we do it? What we are waiting for? And how long we are going to wait? We must not wait now, because it's high time. Before we destroy ourselves, we have worked very hard to reach here where we are today, in the human creativity. And believe me, my brothers and sisters, we don't need to destroy ourselves with atom bombs. And this great Garden of Eden, the heaven on earth, God gave us, the Mother Nature gave us, the great benevolent universe gave us, Mother Earth. We must respect Mother Earth. We respect the biosphere. We must respect all the life-giving resources. And we must align our consciousness with the natural flow of evolution. And the fifth faculty given to the human through the evolutionary mandate is that we have the capacity, we have the power, we have the potential of co-creation. We could concentrate, we could focus our mind and all the power and potential of our mind on one attribute, one characteristic of one faculty, and we could create an ecosystem through our mental concentration to bring the collapse of the wave function, and we could create the new particles of creation. We are co-creators. And as it says in the wisdom tradition of India, and the great science of yoga, that there are only two in this universe existing. What are those two? The one is a drashta, another one is a drishya. Who is drashta? Drashta is the quantum observer. And what is drishya? Is what we see around in the universe. So we are the quantum observers, we are the drashta, we are the co-creators, and we make changes to this canvas of painting, the universe, the drishya, the scene, the scenario. So we could collect the divine attributes and make a garland to offer on the altar of universal welfare, on the temple of benevolent universe, whether we call it God, or whether we call it Mother Nature, or we call it benevolent universe, or we give any name to this beautiful superconscious energy. And to understand this great energy, we have to understand all the steps of evolutionary mandate of the life principle. So my dear brothers and sisters, for last 90 days I was talking about the fundamental explanations, social, psychological, economical, all kind of fundamentals. And next 90 days we are going to apply all those fundamentals in our talks to seek to find the solutions to the human problems of our present time. And how could we do that? How could we make this universe a better place? How could we make Earth a better place? So next 90 days, I seek to, and I invite you and invoke you to come and join me for the next 90 days for this great pursuit of applying the fundamental knowledge, the wisdom of experience, the experiential wisdom, to seek and find the solutions to the human problems on the planet Earth and make it a better place. And that's our endeavor for next 90 days. Thank you very much and have a very, very beautiful day, my dear brothers and sisters.